What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a little video on some of the cards I've been picking up over the last probably 2.5 months for grading. As you'll see from this pile, none of these are actually PSA graded, and there's a really good reason for that. I wanted to talk about one of the ways that I like to grow my collection. And another way, I also like to add value to cards for resale purposes. I know that back when I was completing my Sword and Shield Old Art set, my PSA 10 Aerodactyl from Lost Origin, the Old Art, was actually originally a BGS 9. And I was able to get a good price on it, and I cracked it out and sent it to PSA because I knew it had a shot at a 10. It was really clean. For some reason, I think it was undergraded at the time. And there's plenty of examples that I've done over the years where I've cracked out other grading companies' cards and then resent them for both to keep in my collection and to sell to add some value so I could buy the cards that I wanted. I'm going to go through these slabs that I've been picking up and talk a bit about the prices I paid and what you might expect to get these as in a PSA 10. So first up, I've got a Arc 9.5 Charizard V-Star. This one I picked up a couple of months ago. It was just under $200 delivered. So combined with the PSA grading cost of about $50, I'd be looking at somewhere around $250 to own that card outright in a PSA 10. I just had a look on eBay to see what some of the sales prices were. And I think relatively you could say that $350 is a good value. So the profit difference on selling that would be about $100, and it's about a 40% return. So typically when I'm looking for other graded card companies' cards to pick up, I'll be trying to get cards that have minimum 9.5 across the board. I don't want to get anything that's a 9 in the centering, and I obviously want to try to get a few 10s in there, but if I can get 9.5s across the whole thing, usually that's going to return a 10 in a PSA. I've graded a number of ARC cards in the past, and they grade really well in PSA. They do have a really good grading standard. So if you are actually collecting ARC cards as well, I would recommend grabbing some of those. So then a couple of Blastoise, which I picked up. So these were about $78 each. So I've got all three for $78 each. So they're 2 CGAs and 1 TCG, all in all in their respective 10s. Combined for each of those with grading, you're probably looking at like $128 per card. And the Blastoise, I'm going to be conservative and say around $200 is the resale value. I did see some sales on eBay from Australia that were $250, $260. So based on it being a sold price of $200, you're going to make about $72 or 56% profit on that. So I obviously already have these in my collection, but these are quite liquid. And when I can pick these up for a good price, I will usually try to cross grade them. It's just easier than trying to find raw. Obviously, finding raw cards, they're probably only going to be $20, so there's more money to make. But I usually can make I can make a good judgment and know that a lot of these grading companies in Australia are going to be able to cross grade to PSA. Next one I've got is a Squirtle, which I'm definitely adding to my collection because I've got the Charmander I graded myself quite a few years ago. So I'm just trying to get to focus on the Squirtle, and then I'm going to try to get the Bulbasaur as well. So this one I picked up, it was $309. So I'd be in it for about $360, and in a PSA 10 they sell for like $600. So there's probably, if I was to resell this, there's probably $240 that I could add in value to this card through arbitrage, basically by going from one grading company to another, which is really cool that I can still do that in this day and age. Next up, a couple of big cards. So I've got the Celebrations Charizard, which I picked up. Unfortunately, this one has a little bit of a nick on the back. I didn't get to see the back when I was buying it. Yeah, I didn't get to see the back when I was buying it, but it does have like a small, it's going to be hard to focus, but this one's got 3 9.5s and the edges are 10. So that one was a bit more expensive being BGS. So that was I'm going to be in that for about $509 between the grading cost and also the raw cost I paid. So The PSA 10 Celebrations Charizard sells for about 900, so you'd probably be looking around a profit difference of close to 400, which is pretty cool. I already have one of these as well, so I'd be looking to try to get a 10 in that and then sell it to use that money to buy something else. Then the last two big ones I've got are the Battle Styles, or what's the name of this set? Battle Style Single Strike Master, the Secret Rare Tyranitar. I already own this in English, and I found an ARC 9.5. This one again has quite good subgrades, so 9.5s across the board and the 10 for surface. I'll be looking to probably sell that one as I already collect or I've already got the English. But again, those have like a pretty good resale value in a PSA 10. This is probably the best pickup out of the lot, is a Brilliant Stars Alt Art Charizard. So that one I snagged for, I think, what was it, $700. So that is a real big pickup, especially with all the subgrade 10s and only one 9.5. This is definitely going to cross over to a PSA 10. That's why I grabbed it. This was just on eBay. It was, yeah, I think the reason why you're seeing a lot more of the other grading companies from Australia on eBay at the moment is because of the backlog with PSA. They just did announce that it would be like an 8-month turnaround for bulk. So I'm going to do another video on that at some point if you're still watching this late in the video. But I think that's some of the reason why we're seeing so many of these other companies on eBay, because they've got a quicker turnaround time, so people are sending to them instead of sending to PSA. But yeah, this was a very cool pickup. I'll definitely be keeping that if I can cross grade it. Very cool card as well. I'm surprised that these have only really just started gaining some value recently. I think when I looked, they were selling for about $1,300 in a PSA 10. So there's a few $100 in value added if you can cross grade that to PSA 10. So yeah, there's plenty of arbitrage opportunities like this. This obviously is crossing grading card companies, but there's stuff like, you know, currency can where you would buy something, say in Japan, and then resell it in Australia or the US or wherever you're located. So there's, yeah, it's pretty cool to see that there's lots of those opportunities available because it is such an unregulated marketplace. But yeah, it's a really good way if you want to grow your collection, is buying the cards in another grading company. And if you do want to cross grade to PSA, CGC or whatever it be, it's a good opportunity to be able to cross grade them. It's also just a really good way to cheaply grow your collection as well, if you're looking to do that and just keep it in that grading card company slab. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll catch you all soon. Bye.